Let's move on to our next story about Andy Cohen weighing in on the drama and pushing the producers as to why they did not do their jobs. So let's go. So this is according to Us Weekly. It says Andy Cohen asked Bravo producers what they knew about Scandival ahead of time, explains why they didn't push Pump Rule storylines further. So he's pushing the producers. Was it all staged? Okay. Andy Cohen clarified why Tom Sandoval and Raquel Levis's affair was so shocking, even though Vanderpump Rules captured footage that questioned their relationship months prior. All right. This is what production pointed to because I called them once I started seeing the episodes and I was like, are you telling me you guys didn't get that was happening? And they said they all kind of followed Ariana Maddox's lead. The Bravo executive producer 54 recalled on a Sirius XM radio show and Radio Andy on Thursday. You know I'm your girl and you know that I have the clip. So we are going to sorry, I feel like I'm like off center. This way? This way. Okay, yeah. So you know that I got the clip. So we're going to listen to it too. Okay. And Ariana was saying, no, I know Raquel and this is not happening. Now, this is the thing. This is why I say the producers didn't do their job. Because I don't care what the cast members are saying about an alleged affair. You are the adult in the room. And by adult in the room, I mean you're the producer. You're the person in charge. You're the boss. You're supposed to follow the story where the story takes you, not take the word of someone who has something to protect. Whether it is consciously, she knows something's going on and she's consciously lying to protect her brand, her relationship, her status on the show, or whether it's subconsciously, she's in denial. Subconsciously, she knows something is going on. So she is lying. She thinks she's telling the truth, but subconsciously she's covering up. Like if you think if subconsciously, you know your man is cheating on you. It's not a conscious thing. You haven't caught him. The side chick hasn't stepped to you. But subconsciously, you know he's cheating on you. And someone's like, oh, is your man cheating on you, Candy? And I'm like, nope, he would never do that. Nope, we're great. We're good. Nope, we're all good here. You know what I mean? As the adult in the room, as the producer, they should have followed the smoke until they either got to the pit where the fire was out or to the actual fire. And that's where they really dropped the ball. And that's why everybody was like, hey, is this staged? Is this fake? Is this now scripted? Did they know? Is this just for ratings? Is this a PR stunt? Because you didn't do your job. It's like if I go to the doctor and I have a big knot on my head and the doctor says, Candy, what happened? And I say, nothing. And the doctor says, okay, well, you said nothing happened, so you're good. Bye. You're the adult in the room. It's ridiculous. Let's keep going. According to Cohen, the cameras chose not to pursue the storyline because of Ariana's response. All the producers need to be fired. I don't want anybody to lose a job, but y'all all need to be fired. The funny thing is, if you think about it now, if you listen to what Ariana is saying, she is not saying Tom would never do that, he noted. Isn't she mainly pointing to Raquel? She kept saying that Raquel is not the kind of girl and that she was barking up the wrong tree. That's actually not true, Andy Cohen. Because if you watch the last episode, when Ariana thought she was doing something by stepping to Katie, and she was just like, I know you have a problem with Raquel, but she's always been really nice to me. And like, I love and trust Raquel, and I also love and trust my boyfriend. Girl, I hope you apologize to Katie for that. She was also defending Tom. You know what I mean? So I get what Andy's saying, but that's actually not the truth because Ariana was saying, I love and trust my boyfriend. Like, I love and trust Tom, and she was saying like, oh, and I know Raquel too. Dun, 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 dun. But I do get what Andy's saying because she was saying more about Raquel. But to be fair, people were more coming at Raquel about it than they were Tom. Tom, if you really watch the show, kept inserting himself. A, because he's guilty, and B, because he likes to be in the camera and he likes to hear his own voice. Let's keep going. The Missouri native recalled being shocked when Tom 40 and Raquel's affair made headlines, adding, I think because Ariana was shutting down the conversations about them being in an open relationship, and she was shutting down the idea that Raquel could ever even do that. That is why no one took it further, and that is why it actually was a surprise. Then you look at this footage and you're like, the story wrote itself. I'm so confused. How do these people become producers? The story did write itself. Like, did no one in the room go, wait a minute, maybe we don't take the word of the woman who had just bought a $2 million house with this guy, who is always complaining about never having sex with him and he's never around, who started her relationship with him by being the side chick. Maybe we don't take her advice on this and we actually do our job and we follow the smoke. We follow the facts. I don't know. That would have been an idea. But now we're getting these weird inserts of Ken Todd waking up from his nap, saying his 2 lines, coming in the room, and then going out with the dogs because the producers didn't do their job. That's why now they had to pick up the cameras. That's why now they have to go and do the inserts. And that's why now we have episodes that are choppy. That now we have Lala talking about, and then this happened, and then they have to do a weird looking cartoon character. What's it called? Not a cartoon. What are they called? It's a book. It's a book. It's a magazine. It's a cartoon. It's like a Marvel comic, like that comic book scene. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, let's keep going. Us Weekly confirmed in March that Tom and Ariana, 37, called it quits after nearly a decade of dating due to his infidelity. The TomTom co-owner later issued a public apology to the Florida native after initially only addressing the negative response to his Los Angeles business and received after the fallout. Absolutely ridiculous, but comic book. Yes, comic book. All right, but don't take it from me. Let's listen to Andy Cohen himself. Listen to what he says, and then I want to know what you guys think, okay? Here we go.
Vanderpump Rules last night. Oh, my God. I found it to be chilling. I thought that and I said this to Raquel at the reunion, or either in our one-on-one or at the reunion with everybody. I may have said it both times. I said that you looked in everyone's eyes at that table and said, you're my people. You're my crew. And then minutes later, Ariana by that fire said to her, you are role model goals.
Yeah.
Raquel, you are role model goals.
Ew.
I just can't believe it. We've been doing every week like the list of 5 things that don't land well now that we know how the story ends. And that episode last night, there were too many. I mean, we chose 5 on Watch What Happens Live last night. I thought Kristen Doty was very Kristen Doty, very funny, and very just herself. And but I want to also say that so many people, I do a Q&A before every episode of Watch What Happens Live, and so many people have been raising their hands saying, didn't production know? How could they not have known? How could they not have?
Yeah.
And I think that you saw in last night's episode, even I think Katie confronted Ariana at one point, or at least wanted to talk to her and said, does it not bother you that she slept over? And what do you think of this? And this was the same, and this was what production pointed to, because I called them once I started seeing the episodes. They go, you're telling me you guys didn't get that this was happening? And they said they all kind of followed Ariana's lead. And Ariana was saying, no, I know, Raquel, this is not happening. And, the funny thing is, if I think about it now, if you listen to what Ariana's saying, she's not saying, I know Tom would never do that.
Right.
Isn't she mainly pointing to Raquel when
I
she's
didn't think about that, but that's interesting, and that's true.
Yeah.
She's just saying Raquel would never do
She's
that.
like, no, Raquel's not that kind of girl. Like, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. And so I think because Ariana, she was shutting down the conversations about them being in an open relationship, and she was just shutting down the idea that Raquel would ever even do that. So that's why no one took it further. And that's why it actually was a surprise. But then you look at this footage and you're like, I cannot. Wow. Well, this story wrote itself. I mean, it's wild. It's truly wild.
Yeah, the story wrote itself. And like I said, the producers really dropped the ball on this one. They really dropped the ball. Again, you're the producer, you're the adult in the room. Why are you taking Ariana's word and not following the actual story and the facts where it takes you? You know, actually follow the smoke. And then also, what I found to be interesting is that when Andy says, oh, yeah, you know, she keeps saying Raquel, 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 I also think that's because she thought that the only reason why people were coming after Raquel was because Raquel had hooked up with Schwartz and Katie was mad at Schwartz. And Katie was mad at Schwartz and Raquel. You know, that's why she said, I know you have a problem with Raquel. And that's why Sheena was like, oh, I would trust Raquel in my bed with Brock. So isn't it funny that they had no problem defending Raquel when she was hooking up with Katie's, at that time, still legal husband? They were all defending Raquel when Raquel was hooking up with Katie's husband, soon to be ex-husband. Oh, he could sleep in my husband, Brock, that's fine. Oh, I really trust her, blah, 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 blah. Justice for Katie Maloney. Thank you, Kathleen, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Kathleen. Justice for Katie frickin' Maloney. And this also goes into my conspiracy theory on what Tom Sandoval was doing. He is an evil genius. I think he was really trying to normalize the fact that it would be totally, like, I get it, there's been cheating. I get it, there's been infidelities, blah, 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 blah. But we have to think about the cast is now 10 years older. They have mortgages. They've been together for decades. X, Y, and Z. It's totally different, right? So this is the thing. I think he was really trying to normalize and then also create a narrative where he could call anybody who had a problem with him being with Raquel after being with Ariana a hypocrite. And this goes into that. Because if they had not been caught cheating, nobody could say anything. Sheena, you said you would trust Raquel in bed with Brock. You had no problem with her. She was your best friend. She was this, that, and a third when she was actively hooking up with Katie's estranged husband, because when she hooked up with him, they were still legally married. Sure, separated, whatever the case may be. And Raquel sat there at that table, looked Katie dead in her face and said, I asked your husband to hook up with me, or if he wanted to kiss, or Schwartz, whatever she said, but that's basically what went down. And nobody at that table defended Katie except for Lala. Lala's the only one who stepped up and said something. And that's another reason why Tom Sandoval wants to villainize Lala so much, to discredit her. Oh, you're a homewrecker, you're a bimbo, you have this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, right? And then Ariana herself, I trust Raquel. You know, it's fine. I know you have a problem with her because she's hooking up with your ex-husband. Well, chick, she was having sex with your current boyfriend at that time. And if that hadn't come out, you wouldn't have a leg to stand on. Ariana would not have a leg to stand on if the affair had not been called out. Because it would have been like, well, you had no problem with Raquel and Schwartz. Why do you have a problem with Raquel and Tom Sandoval? See what I'm saying? Justice for Katie. Justice for Katie, 100%. All right, you guys, put it down below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation, okay? Now let's move on to our next story.